exploring the Gilis by sea and Lombok by land. After 3 incredible weeks of joyful bliss and adventure in Bali, we had to hop over to Lombok to see what this island was all about. For our first journey, we chartered a private boat to take us to the famous Gili Islands. We snorkeled the abundant coral reefs of all 3 islands, met some cutie green turtles, and soaked our feet in the soft, powdery sand of Gili Meno shores. While we loved exploring the undersea world near the northwest coast of Lombok, we couldn't leave without seeing what inland Lombok had to offer. With a private car and a private guide, we hiked the forested trail that led us to 2 of the most stunning, yet least visited waterfalls we've ever seen. We started our morning right on the shores of our beach resort before hopping into our traditional Jungkung boat for the day. Good morning from Lombok. We're heading on our first adventure from the island, heading for the Gili Islands.
So it's really cool because we're staying at the Sheraton here on Sendang Beach in Lombok. And with the tour company that we booked with, they're actually going to drive the boat right to the shoreline here, right to the beach, and that's where they're going to pick us up. And then we're going to take about an hour to head over to our first Gili island, Gili Meno. Our beautiful just arrived here on the shore. We're actually so glad that there's actually a covering on top. Because I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's not a single cloud out there in the sky. The sun's going to be beaming on our face, so just super grateful. We have a little bit of sun protection on our 1-hour journey over to Gili.
It's actually a pretty sizable boat. You can have a whole group over here, but this is the 2 of us. We're going to enjoy it. Now we're going to go grab our snorkel gear at the harbor before we head to the Gilis.
Look at this girl. Look at this girl.
Thanks. We're at our first stop here, the Gili Meno Statues. It's a really famous spot for snorkeling, and there are 48 life-size statues underwater sculpted by Jason DeCara Taylor. Now, this isn't just some fancy art exhibit that is really cool to see underwater. These statues are purposely put in there to encourage the marine life to grow because they're actually created from environmental grade pH neutral concrete, and it encourages the soft corals and the sponges to grow. So hopefully we can see lots of fishies under there. Let's go see. There was so much marine life out there, but man, there are countless jellyfish. I just kept getting stung. It was kind of miserable, but it was worth the 20 minutes being out there just to see all of the fish around the statue. And because there's so much sunlight, you can see through that water so clearly.
After just a short 5-minute ride from the statues at Gili Meno, we now made it to Gili Trawangan. And this spot we are at right now, close to the beach, there has been known for turtle sightings, and that is our goal today. And our boat captain is actually going to act as our guide. He's going to jump in the water with us, throw on some snorkel gear, and let's go find some turtles.
See you.
Let's get some lunch. After snorkeling for quite a bit, we definitely worked up an appetite. So we are back at Gili Meno grabbing a little lunch.
Just steps away from our boat, we are at Ana Warung. Warung means restaurant, so it's Anna's restaurant that sits right on the beach facing the turquoise waters of the shores of Gili Meno. You can actually see Lombok right from here, the hazy mountains glistening in the background. We had to get some food. Like Jason said, we worked up an appetite after the snorkeling, so I got myself some spaghetti bolognese. Jason got a chicken waffle, and to pair it with, we got some dragon fruit, mixed fruit milkshakes.
I'm pretty sure there was some sort of miscommunication because when I asked if a chaffle was a waffle, he said yes. But this is no waffle that I have ever seen in my life. It's a panini.
I think it's because you're pressing it maybe with a similar machine to a waffle maker. There definitely wasn't any confusion. I think it's pretty hard to get spaghetti bolognese wrong, but look at the portion size difference. This is definitely Jason's style portion because he eats a lot more than I do. That's more mine, but too bad. The spaghetti's for me. Truly cannot get over these waters and the fact that there's almost nobody here. That actually really surprised me because Gili is so popular. Maybe the fact that we're on Gili Meno means it's a little bit more secluded, but I don't know. I feel like it really took me by surprise.
2 out of the 3 islands done, heading over to Gili Air. Here we are at the final spot of this Gili Island tour. You can already see some boats behind me. They're already in the water. Apparently there are a ton of fish here, and one way that they have to attract the fish to you is they actually fill a bottle with some bread, and you actually just feed the fish and they actually come and swim right towards you. This should be a great time and a great way to end this tour.
It's our final day here in Lombok and we wanted to see a couple of waterfalls before we left the island. We hired a private driver and a private guide. Our driver should be here any minute now.
The drive in total took about 2 hours from Sengigi, where we're staying, up to the town of Senaru. Now Senaru is really popular because this is actually the starting point for people who want to trek Mount Rinjani, which is by far the highest mountain here in Lombok. Now the 2 waterfalls that we're going to, first one is called Sendang Gile, and the second one is called Kelep. Kelep is definitely the more impressive one, so that's what we're going to head to right now. And then on the way back up, we're going to check out Sendang Gile. Now the entire hike in total will take about 3 hours round trip. The path is extremely well maintained, so we're not worried about that. It's definitely an easy trek for us. So let's get down there and check out these waterfalls. We got a little friend coming with us on our little hike down to the waterfalls.
We made it to Kelep waterfall after all of that trekking through the river, through the rocks. And man, it's so misty over here. I completely got drenched, but it was worth it. It was nice and refreshing after walking through all of that humidity. After doing the more difficult trek to Kelep, we came back to Sendang waterfall. Doing this one was like a walk in the park. You actually don't need a guide to take you over here. but we continued on with our guide Shu, and he pointed out the fact that you can actually go around and behind the waterfall. Jason's over there flying the drone, getting a different vantage point of the waterfall, but I got to take a dip right beside it, and it was so refreshing. Not as windy and misty as the last one, but honestly guys, if you just managed to get to this one, I would say that your waterfall chasing would be satiated.
It's been such a joy exploring Lombok, heading over to the Gili Islands where we swam with the fish and turtles, and of course chasing waterfalls in northern Lombok.
We still have one more adventure here in Indonesia, so join us next time as we head over to our final island, Nusa Penida.